Hello everybody, welcome. This video that you're about to see was filmed a couple of months ago. What I was going to do, I don't want this to be outdated now, I feel like I've dated this. It's not that long ago, just a couple of months ago anyway. Earlier this year, what I was going to do, sort of quarantine lockdown movie marathon video where I would watch 10 or 12 films over a couple of weeks when we were in isolation and talk about them in this one big super video and put it all together and stuff like that. But it never happened. I ended up watching more Netflix series and Disney Plus series, so the video just never happened, but we started it. And I filmed three films, talking about the films that I watched in that sort of attempted marathon video. So I'm going to release them as individual videos, this one and two others that have been released sometime recently on the channel. Yeah, this is one of those videos, so please take it with a pinch of salt. The context was, it was going to be a marathon video, but it wasn't anymore. It wasn't to be. Maybe somewhere down the line, if we get a lockdown 2, which is likely, we'll do the marathon then. But until then, this is what it was going to be, and here's one of the reviews. Rachel's eating a cereal bar. We'll be right back after Rachel finishes eating a cereal bar. From now on, for the next couple of seconds, you can look at Jim Carrey's face, all pixelated, lots of different pictures of Jim Carrey, creating a picture of, yes you guessed it, Jim Carrey.
I'm finished eating my cereal bar.
Actually, recently I was at an Inside the Rope show, which was the podcast Grilling JR Live, and I was there with my co-host of the Wrestling Connection podcast, Glenn, and we were there with his pal Robert, who gets mentioned in every episode. And we were sitting there before the show started and they were having an argument about something, and I was like, guys, what's going on? And Glenn said, Chris, settle an argument for us. What is Jim Carrey's best film? And I went, Jim Carrey's best film technically is The Truman Show. And
Why did you say that?
And Glenn went, see, it's Truman Show, because he was trying to prove a point to Robert. Whereas I don't know, because recently I watched Man on the Moon, and not that it's a better film, I do think the Man on the Moon performance is probably a little bit better. I don't know. But
why? What makes people say The Truman Show?
it's not people, it's my opinion, and Glenn's opinion. I think it's his best film. It's one of my favourite films of all time. It's one of my favourite films of his. I'm a big fan of him, obviously, Dumb and Dumber and all that stuff. But I like Dumb and Dumber and Cable Guy and The Mask and all that a lot when I was younger. Things like The Grinch and things like that. Like, I've always liked that when I was younger, but when I'm getting older, I've been like, they're not as good as, say, more serious stuff. Like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I think is so much better.
That's my favourite one.
What's the other one he's in? The really serious one. I can't remember, but that Eternal Sunshine, Ace Ventura. I mean, it's also daft, but he's good in it too. But things like, do you know he was really good in the new Sonic film as well? He was the bad guy in the new Sonic film. That was actually a lot of fun. But Truman Show, Man on the Moon, and Eternal Sunshine, 3 of the best films ever, and 3 of his best performances, in my opinion. Anyway, what did you think of the Truman Show? Because this was the first time you watched it. This is my recommendation to you.
It was good. I really enjoyed it, but I felt like it started too fast though. That is the only thing. Like, I felt like you didn't have time of like understanding like of his normal, what his life would be, until we started figuring it out. Like, you just started figuring it out the minute the film starts.
Yeah.
But like, aside from that, and it was quite confusing at first, but that's the point of the film, so that's fair.
I felt the exact same when I watched it for the first time. I didn't get it, and I was like, what is happening?
Because it just kind of starts and you're like, oh, okay.
But you know the way, like, when I first watched it, I was trying to overthink it, and I was trying to feel like I was really smart about it, and I was like, oh, well, he clearly already knows. But like, I had to kind of let it play out, and then I watched it a couple more times, and by like view number 3, and I knew the whole context of it. I was like, this is brilliant. But I mean, I was kind of answering questions from Rachel during the film, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I was trying to help her.
Probably help.
But it's not just a Rachel thing, do you know what I mean? Like, everybody gets confused.
But I think that's kind of partially the point in the film. Like, it's the same in the film Inception, which I know you haven't seen.
I've not seen it, no.
But a lot of it you're supposed to be confused because you're supposed to kind of have to think about it.
And also, it all makes sense at the end.
Yeah.
But you're not going to know that until the end, you know what I mean? So it's part of the experience of watching the film, and that's why I think it's always good to see films in the cinema, because you get that full experience. And I think it's hard sometimes watching films here because we get distracted so easily. So when there's like maybe a confusing plot or something, do you know what I mean, or something that's still to come, we sometimes don't take into account the fact that we've been looking at Twitter. Do you know what I mean?
I did go and make crepes in the middle of the film and then come back.
We should make clear, it's just crepes you put in the microwave. It wasn't the whole 2-hour process of making a crepe.
It was just like wee stupid ones, but still.
No, I liked it a lot this time as well. I liked it a lot, which was quite
Did
funny.
you get that from me?
Yeah, it's a Jim Carrey thing.
The other day I said that and Chris goes, where'd you get that from? And I went, I don't know. And you went, do you get that from Jim Carrey? And I went, I don't know. And then Chris
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
That must be where I'm getting that from. I didn't know. You asked me as if I was supposed to know.
No, I was asking you because I know you haven't seen Dumb and Dumber.
I have seen Dumb and Dumber.
Have you?
Yes.
Alright.
That's us, Dumb and Dumber.
Well, which one's which? But yeah, so there you go. That's film number 2 in the books. We watched Outsiders and then Truman Show. We're not going to continue together because...
I'm being kicked out, basically.
Not kicked out. You can come back if you want to watch another film with me. But just for convenience, I just want to get some films watched and recorded and reviewed and stuff. I'll check back and see what else I watch. I've got a few in the collection that I've not seen yet that I want to get to, but that always... something about it, the fact it's sitting right there, makes me want to keep it.
It needs to be a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah.
Like it has to be like, let's watch this. Like you wouldn't have watched Outsiders. Like,
oh no, aye, absolutely.
So like, instead of being like, right, I haven't seen this one, I have to watch that. Like that's kind of going to be like. Ugh.
I've got that Hitchcock set sitting there, and I've still to watch 60% of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just sitting there, and it looks so beautiful and pretty on the shelf.
That's me. I've got a lot of books like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like they're pretty, so I'm buying them, and then I'm like I haven't gotten around to reading them, and they're just sitting there like taunting me. Not good.
What's the next book you think you'll read?
I want to read the Harry Potter series, but
other than that,
a book called Carry On by Rainbow Rowell.
That's what's going to be next.
Because I have read all of her books except for that one, so I need to do that.
Cool.